life. He may consider me a peer, but I don't. I consider him Bruce. But we've gotten very, very close. I'm really closer. Because when I couldn't speak, he'd speak to me, with me, for me. You know, those kind of things. And so it helped immensely. And to have his friendship and then support and then respect as a songwriter, you know, it goes a long way. Southside's the same way.
Yeah. So, I mean, on Hollow Man, how did it work? Did you just get
I wasn't there. I wasn't with him in the room.
Right.
So then he knew the song.
Yeah.
He knew it, like I said, he'd known it since it was a demo. And then I did say, I would like you to play a harmonica on it. I didn't play a harmonica on the original record because I didn't want it to sound like anything he would have written.
Yeah.
And I didn't want it to be Nebraska-esque. But because of the situation, I was like, I would have put harmonica. You know, why don't you play some harmonica? And so he did what I had asked. And it wasn't hard because, like I said, he knew the song.
Yeah. And then you got like, someone sent you the files and you just put on and press play.
Yeah,
there it is. It's
Ron,
amazing.
his engineer who does all his stuff in his house. He just was at his house the way he always, you know, is. Recorded it and sent it back in a day. But it was sweet of him. Yeah, it was great of him. It's the same room. If you watch the documentary, that's his studio where he's in our documentary.
And then you got the situation. Yeah, if you can introduce us. He says, walks out on stage. He goes, "Ladies and gentlemen," and he says to the police. He says, "The place goes insane." And he says, "The feeling that you get from that audience." He said, and I was there for like 20 seconds, introduced the band, and I walked up, and he says, I was shaking, and I watched the band go on and do 2 hours, whatever it is, hour and a half. And he says, just like to ask you, you've done that, you are going to do that again. What does that feel like? How could you put that into words? That the wattage.
I figured this one out. I get to hold, metaphoric, big lights, a spotlight.
Yeah.
But it's powered by the band. That beam of light emanates into the audience. And my reward for holding that light all these years is the reflection of that light. And that resonance that happens as a result. And I don't get to, I just get to hold it. I don't power it. It takes we to power it. I don't have to have the burden of holding it, powering it, aiming it, shooting it. No longer. It's a different perspective. So I know what those sound waves are. I know what it feels like, and I know what it looks like. And the perspective, like I say, at this time in my life is much different.
And when it's working with the band, when there's that chemistry, when you're all, the song's going right, the recording's going right, you know, it's happening, the tape's there, you're all in the pocket, everyone's doing the thing that just they can do. You're smiling again, right? Yeah. Do you do the thing where you all look at each other, it's like, yeah, this is just like it was back then?
I remember this is a latter moment where David would say to me, "Why don't you ever turn around and say, 'Good job'?" And I say, in truth, because I'm not there. And as if I ever do turn around to you, it's because you've done a shit job. So you should be really happy that I've never done that, because that means everybody's done such a great job.
Yeah.
And then I get to float above it, or with you, you know, with everybody in that moment. And that's what you aspire to.
Right.
It's truly all you aspire to.
So there was the 40th anniversary celebrations, you just kind of sailed through that.
It came and went, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of cool though, right? Did you see that as a moment? It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because to know how you want to go forward, you've got to know what you've done in the past.
Yes.
You know? But you can't get stuck just looking back.
No. On the other hand, okay, if I lived like that, always thinking about the ahead and the back and the ahead and the back, I missed the moment.
Right.
I missed the present. I didn't know what the present was. I was always thinking about the tomorrow and the yesterday. That's a big mistake that you make, that I made. I should have been more in the moment. And that is something I learned because of this.
Yeah. We have some questions from people. Let's do some of these questions. Okay. Christopher Mayton. Christopher Mayton? Are you here, Christopher? Yeah, how you doing, mate? Okay. The Robbie Williams connection. How did it happen and how did it lead to that collaboration? You talked a bit about that, but tell me more about you and Robbie's.
Well, we met on a TV show many years ago, but
Okay.
we became friendlier when he moved down to Florida, and I have a house down there, and then we got to hang out a few times, and then there was a lot of phone calls and texts and stuff over the years, and then in light of maybe, you know, because we're further on down the road, when guys have the courage to ask others who have been further up ahead questions about those moments, and they care enough about your advice, then a relationship is formed. Then it's not just, how you doing? And so we sort of went there. And, you know, then he went out on this tour, or the movie, or, you know, so he's pretty comfortable in his own shoes again. And it's rewarding for me, because I would tell him, you know, give me a good story, because I need the inspiration too. So I wasn't there just there for him, he had to be there for me.
Yeah.
You know, it was cool.
That's kind of nice to, like, I think it's pretty fair to say, back in the 80s, maybe guys felt it a lot harder for guys to say, hey, like, can I have a bit of help now? Maybe different in a band, but like, why not? And I think it's kind of cool that that's now something that...
Yeah, because I think we all, and it don't matter if you're in a band, I think one thing I'm realizing, and I was on a show called The One Show last night, there was a young guy on the panel with me who wrote a book about all the anxieties and depressions, and I thought to myself, he's a young guy, he's too young for this. Everybody here is dealing with some kind of weight that they wouldn't have had on their shoulders 30 years ago. It's the world we're living in.
That's very
It's
true.
social media, it's the news, it's our leaders, it's a fucked time. But what can come out of it is the realization that we're all in that muddy water together. So when you get down and get worried, know that I'm going through it, you're going through it, therefore we're going to get through it. That's really important, because then you're not alone. But we're going through it. Everybody's dealing with some kind of anxiety out there. That word was never in the zeitgeist.
No,
Just like
it wasn't.
gluten wasn't in the That's a bullshit word. But we never heard about those kinds of things. You ate McDonald's and you never talked about anxiety. What the fuck is that?
It's a gluten-free rider. That's
Oh my
that.
dear God. These are kinds of words and things that were not prevalent 30 years ago. No way.
Question from Simon Cox. Simon, you around? Hey, how you
Hello,
doing?
Simon.
Okay. The documentary is absolutely brilliant. Good night. It gave us a glimpse into a treasure trove of recordings and unreleased songs. Are there any plans to release those tracks as a box set or a special collection?
Box sets, who knows what that means anymore. We've been playing them on our Sirius radio channel. Obi has a big box of all of them, and with all of this material as of late, we have an outlet with that. So the archive found a bunch of material, which is fun, whether it's a demo version of something or an iteration of a song that was coming along or an unreleased track. So there's a ton of it, and we're just sort of, in this day and age, just put it out on the streamers, because it's the quickest and easiest and best way not to take advantage of their fans. Just share it.
Is there more stuff like in dusty boxes? I guess everyone would like.
I think the dusty boxes are probably almost all the way gone through at this point, because we did take 3+ years to archive everything. But they found a lot. I mean, this whole archiving process was good for the documentary, for the book, for history. Yeah, it's good.
Simon also says, thank you for being the soundtrack to my life. Your music has meant so much to me and got me through the good and bad of life.
Appreciate it.
Miriam Mendez, Miriam? Go, hey, how you doing? 2 questions. First of all, any plans to expand the Jon Bon Jovi Soul Kitchen beyond New Jersey? Do we have one in London?
Oftentimes, people ask Dorothea if they, could franchise in the most recent one was South Carolina. We'll give you the book. Good luck, because we're so hands-on. The model can and will work. You'll never, you lose money doing it. It's a charitable organization. We finance it, the shortfall. But we're so hands-on that we'd be afraid to have one in, Long Island, because we're not there. And it's a wonderful restaurant. It's a great menu of food. It's a great people that come both in need and they contribute. But you would never know that the hostess is a social worker, that the executive chef isn't pushing the soup like a commercial restaurant does.
Yeah.
It's about connection. But we have had over the years a commercial executive chef who comes from a restaurant mentality that I gotta push the soup. We don't care about the soup. We care about, feeding somebody. But you wouldn't know that. These are things that are a part and parcel to what we do. Hence, Dorothea's got to be there all the time.
A very upsetting question is, do you think about going back into acting? I could see you on the screen again. It crossed your mind this week?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
The first show isn't for another 7 or 8 months. I was like, well, if somebody had a great role today, but in truth, I'm not prepared for it. So the answer would be no, because I should stay single-mindedly focused on the job at hand, which is this. But it would have been like, yeah, it's a good time to just spread my wings, because I'm not going to do 100 shows, or it's just not going to happen.
Right.
So maybe it's a little glimmer of something in the future, but it doesn't call me the way it did.
Okay. But I think going back to it again with the knowledge and experience and the weight of life behind you would make for a really you're going to bring interesting.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. But it doesn't call me like it did.
Okay. Javina Zakapolis Butler, I hope I got your name right, I do, if I haven't. What is one lyric you've written?
Still.
Oh, sorry. Hey, how you doing? Sorry, did I get your name pronounced really good? Okay. What is one lyric you've written that gives you goosebumps when you sing it live?
No idea. There's 18 albums, there's so many lines, and so many times I'll sing a line in the rehearsals that I have all the time, and I go, I like that because it means something to me. But right here on the spot, the fuck, I can't remember. But I worked very hard on them, so they all mean something to me.
Are there any lyrics that are quite difficult just to get out right that you wish I hadn't written?
One thing that I'm always guilty of, and always was with Richie as a collaborator, or anybody if I've collaborated, I have a lot of syllables, a lot of words.
Yeah.
I've always overloaded every line. It's true, I'm guilty. But I find the place to accent the word to make it work each time. So, yes, I know that they're chock-a-block, but I figured it out. I figured out.
There's none when you're halfway through a chorus thinking, oh, that line in verse 2 is going to come, that's going to kill me.
I've shot myself many times. You got to deal with them.
Yeah. Sarah Hasted. Oh, hey, how you doing, Sarah? 2 questions. How do you balance fame and family?
Like I said 100 times, it's what I do, it's not who I am.
Right.
When I go out on the stage, I'm really good at it, and it's natural, it's not feigned, it's as real as it gets.
Right.
But I swear the kids don't have to applaud when I come down the stairs.
I guess you have to get good at, if you come off a tour, any tour, and then you sort of...
There was years of that, for sure.
Yeah, so you're sort of standing there in the hallway going, where's catering? Where's my tour manager telling me what time I've got to open the front door?
Yeah, but other guys, even in the band, had a lot worse time with that than I did.
Right.
But yeah. Especially in the, all the vampire hours of touring and not going to bed till 2, 3, 4 in the morning, waking up at 1 in the afternoon. that's not really me nowadays.
Yeah.
So I'll have to adjust the other way.
Right.
But when I would get off the road in my youth, definitely, especially the late nights and the drinking and the eating the way it would be. But nowadays, it'll be more going the opposite way. Having to.
Yeah. You just learn how to.
You adjust. It's like time changes.
Yeah. And the other question for Sarah was, how do you keep grounded? Which is a similar kind of thing.
Every time, a lot of it had to do with where we came from, who we were and where we came from. When we realized that early on, thank God, it was very healthy for us. We wouldn't play the Hollywood game. I ran out of there as quick as I could, and the fame game. Fame is a liar and a thief at the end of the day. It really is. It will inflate egos and rip your heart out. That's not a good friend to have.
And you think your upbringing and your home, these are the things that equips you not to take another journey.
Perhaps worked for us, worked for me.
Yeah.
Maybe even not other guys in the band, but for me.
Because there is that saying, isn't there, like when you get famous, you don't change, but everyone around you changes.
Well, that's a fact.
Yeah, tell me about that. Can you remember that moment when you were like, he was like, before I just go to the bar and he talked to me like I was his mate?
Yeah,
Can you remember
that
that?
changed. Yes, slippery when wet. Suddenly, even your parents were like, people recognize you differently, and they would talk to you differently. People around you talk to you differently. The people you thought were the adult in the room were asking you questions. It's weird. But we would say to each other, is it us or is it them? And it's them.
Yeah.
And or even early on, we had each other to say, that was cuckoo.
Yeah.
So you adjust accordingly, or you don't. Some people did, some don't.
Yeah. Question from Jackie Wickens. Jackie? How you doing? A lot of your songs are inspired and based on life experiences. So, as you've recently become a grandfather, do you have any plans to write? Do you have any plans to write a song about this wonderful new chapter in your life?
Eventually, I'm sure it'll take over. In some capacity. The baby's still too new, and there's another one coming in the next 10 days or week, which is kooky, wild, but exciting and inviting, and next chapter stuff. So eventually, I'm sure it'll have some impact.
Yeah. When it comes to writing, I mean, you're not the same person you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 50 years. And you don't want to be. That's the point of life, is to change. What do you feel now at this moment? If I was to say, here's a pen, here's a bit of paper, write me something. Where is your head right now? What do you feel?
Right now is different than writing Red, White, and Jersey. Right now is different than writing that, which was a year ago.
Yeah.
Because right now, it's a scary time in the world. There's such division. There's such a created fear of us and them. Who's them? There's only we, for fuck's sake. But it's this, if you don't learn from history, you're going to repeat it. That old saying is real. And like it or not, baby, this is 1938 happening again, so wake the fuck up. Wake up before it's too late. And if you're going to say who's taking sides, I'm trying to stay, in the we category to have some understanding, but I don't have understanding of the simplest of things. If you can't feed the hungry, house the homeless, and ensure those less fortunate than you, then you're right, I'm on the other side. Okay, I am. So that's the way it's going to be, then that's the way it's going to be.
Are you optimistic, Jon? Are you optimistic?
I'm an optimistic person. Yeah, I am. But I'm an empathetic person. So I care about the people in Ukraine. I care about the people in Gaza. I care about the people that are, not involved in political turmoil. Yeah, very much so.
It would be insane of me to ask you about the highlights of your career this far, but heck, I'm going to do it anyway. Looking back, I think one of the reasons that people really respond to you in the band so much is exactly what you're saying. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to do these shows. You didn't have to learn to sing again. But you feel there's something there.
There's a reason.
There's a reason for doing it. I think that's why. So over this career thus far, what have been the moments you're like, okay, this has brought real worth, real value, that was a great moment, that was a wonderful song performance. I know there's countless.
Many.
I know.
So many. And every time you thought that that was the peak, there was always another mountain to climb. But it wasn't about achievement, it was about experiences. And the good came with the bad, and they were all opportunities to grow. And then what you do with it is up to you, right? So, I mean, 1 in a million kids gets to make a record. 1 in a million kids gets to be here 40 years later. So, you know, I mean, it's almost unfathomable to be able to sit here with you 42 years later playing any stadium in the world I want to. It's fucked up. But it didn't come without turmoil. It didn't come without accolade, and it didn't come without seriously being, you know, kicked and punched and thrown back to the ground. So out of it all, I hope came growth.
Are there still moments when you're like, Wembley Stadium, like we're playing Wembley, like again, here we go. Is there still that? Do you still see, like, you know, you at the start of the band in your head when these things get announced? When you think, if I could have told myself,
yeah, of course,
this journey would be still going.
Yeah, sure. Madison Square Garden, Wembley Stadium.
It's pretty cool.
It's cool. What I'm telling myself is, I get to sing again. I don't give a fuck where it is. I don't. I get to do it again. That's all I care about. And I don't mean that in a way where, because we're only playing the bar. No, I could play the fucking Sahara. But I just get to hold this again. Okay, I'm in. Let's try it.
So, a couple of questions. Got more? We got time for a couple more? We got time for a couple of questions. Yeah. With the Forever album, you talked a lot, and you mentioned it tonight as well. You mentioned joy as a word, joy, saying that album brought you joy.
Yeah.
You've kept that. You still feel, you know, we talk a lot about division, we talk a lot about difficulty, but that joy is still in your heart.
It's palpable. I want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to sing. I want to be up there with the band and the audience. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's joy.
And what else is on the horizon? I mean, we have, obviously, there's the tour coming. We talked a bit about the kitchen and the foundation. What else is kind of going on with that? What else is your goals for that?
Well, there'll be more, unfortunately. As Dorothy has said, I wish we could go out of business, but unfortunately we never will. So we'll expand in the future. There's talks about the 5th one. We know where and when. So there's that on the horizon. And then, you know, with the Jessie's having this baby any minute now, that the holidays are going to be fun for a different reason this year.
What's Christmas like at your house?
It's going to be good this year.
Tell me, I've stumbled upon this. Tell me, paint a picture for me.
It's like anyone else's family, you know, you get together and it's misery and pain and pain in the ass together. What uncle is going to get drunk and say the wrong thing to the aunt, and you know, it's the way Christmas is.
It's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Of course it is.
How many people in your house at Christmas do you?
It varies. It's like everyone else's house. What kid's coming? This is you just had your daughter's 7th birthday today.
This morning it was a birthday party. Yeah.
Congratulations for that. When she's 27 and says, "I'm not coming home for Christmas."
Oh.
These things happen. Chapters of the book they didn't tell you about.
Jeez.
So you only get, you know, one of the kids or 2 of the kids. It varies. Welcome to the future. But you know, it's like everyone else's Christmas. It's wonderful and it's weird and it's cliche and it's grateful. You know.
What do you want for Christmas? What do you get you for Christmas? Like
peace.
just leave me alone for like a couple of hours with my family.
It would be good.
A final question, like the idea of, we talked just then about writing stuff. I'm sure people here would love to know if they're recording together, new material together, like that door is in no way closed. It's open, that door is open.
It's for certain.
Good.
Yeah, I've started writing. It hasn't taken any kind of thematic shape yet. it's too early, but I have a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel good. But no rush. No rush. I want to do this. I want to play some shows. I want to live life and see where it goes writing-wise. Fortunately, I have had the same record deal for 42 years and plan to keep it.
I mean, that's a miracle in itself.
It's
Isn't it?
good.
It's incredible. What do you put that down to?
We write all the hits and make them believe.
That would do it. That would do it.
No shortage of hits. So the company have been the right company for me for 42 years. I'm really happy that I'm there. We've had a great friendship for all these years. It's good. So I absolutely will be making another record with the guys as soon as we get around to it.
Yeah. The story is not finished. The book is not finished.
No. And it's not the last chapter either. It's going to be a continuation.
Yeah. That's really good to hear, right? It is July 2026, 7th, 9th, 12th, 14th, Madison Square Garden, August 28th, Edinburgh, Minefield Stadium, 30th of August, Crook Park, Dublin, September the 4th, London, Wembley Stadium.
Yeah. There'll be a couple more, but it'll be a very short-lived tour. It's meant to just get your feet wet. Don't push me in the pool yet. Just let me get my feet wet.
It's a pleasure to have you over
Thank
here.
you, brother. It's great to see you again.
It's been really good. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up.